Streamer Hasan Piker suspended from Twitch after calling, I'm going to be very careful with the language on this one. Hasan Piker basically instructed people to take action that would end the life of a sitting U.S. senator.
In this video, Tim Pool reports on leftist streamer Hasan Piker. Tim Pool talks about how Hasan Piker recently called for the termination, if you know what I mean, YouTube termination, of a U.S. senator. With that, let's watch Tim Pool lay into Hasan Piker for his vile, unhinged comments.
From the post-millennial far-left streamer Hasan Piker suspended from Twitch after calling, I'm going to be very careful with the language on this one. Hasan Piker basically instructed people to take action that would end the life of a sitting U.S. senator. Don't do that.
It was a metaphor, Tim. You weren't supposed to take it seriously. Come on.
He certainly said it. In fact, I can't even read the statement he made. And I can't believe how many times this guy has made statements like this. And people keep saying he was banned from Twitch. No, he was temporarily suspended.
Yeah.
That's it. Twitch does not care that this dude has advocated on numerous times for direct violence. This is a crime.
The dude that runs Twitch went on Hasan's stream and sang him happy birthday on his no BS. That is legit. That actually happened. That's in the H3H3 podcast content dump. Yeah.
Before or after any number of these?
Definitely after he said that the United States deserved 9/11.
According to 18 USC 373, anyone who with the intent that another person engage in conduct constituting a felony involving the use, attempted use, or threatened use of physical force against another person in violation of U.S. law, solicits, commands, induces, or otherwise endeavors to persuade such a person to engage in such conduct. Conduct can be imprisoned for up to half the maximum term. What is that? 20 years? Wow. If the crime solicited is punishable by life imprisonment or death, the individual can be imprisoned for up to 20 years. Furthermore, 18 U.S.C. 351 specifically addresses the protection of members of Congress, including U.S. senators, making it a federal crime to assault, kidnap, murder these officials. This statute underscores the seriousness with which the law treats against federal legislators. I mean, you don't even need to be a senator. It's illegal to tell someone to go kill somebody else.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Arrest him. Arrest him.
I'm looking forward to him doing a podcast
justice.
with Taylor Lorenz.
I'm looking forward to him having a podcast from jail
with Luigi Mangione.
There you go.
But it is. We were joking before, like whether or not he's a terrorist sympathizer.
There's no joke about it.
No, I know. This is beyond. They talk about dog whistles, but then you have your so-called moderate terrorists who are the ones that instigate the radicals. It's nothing shy of this man sitting on his pedestal. He's very happy with his life, so he doesn't want to ruin his own life by doing something stupid. But he wouldn't mind if he were to cause someone to tip over the edge by saying what he said. He knows damn well what it means, how it's going to be heard, what is an instruction to his probably unhinged followers. He's a very, I'm going to quote Jerry Seinfeld, a very, very bad man. He's a very, very, very bad man. Period.
Wasn't his show kind of failing? I remember we did an episode a while back where his numbers were going down. I don't know. I've never watched anything this guy does. I've always been forced to see it on Twitter.
He's been covered recently by CNN and by Slate trying to pump him up because the left is.
Are there ever any consequences for people anymore? I mean, I'm about as big a free speech absolutist as there is, but there are laws against what Hasan Piker did. And it's not the first time he's gotten in trouble for this stuff. The extent of the punishment is always a temporary suspension. They just mentioned, wasn't his follower count going down or something? I'm not looking at numbers or anything, but I don't think so. I think this guy is beloved by his fans. I mean, I always ask, who watches these people? And honestly, if what Hasan Piker talks about resonates with you, you probably are unhinged. So I guess that's part of my answer right there. Just insane people, which makes this call to action from him that much more scary and serious, because rational people don't take political advice from this video game playing guy who now is apparently an expert in politics. This is really serious. It's just frustrating because this story will just be a blip and it'll go away. And it sucks because as much as I can't stand the political left and blah, 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 I would never wish harm to come to any other human being. I don't care how much I disagree with them. Hasan Piker's just a bad person, man. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
is looking for like the left's Joe Rogan. But the problem is all the famous streamers on the left are literal communists that endorse terrorism.
Yeah.
Like Hasan has literally had Houthi pirates on. He had a translator, and there's a dude that's a Houthi pirate, and he's sitting there glazing the guy, saying like, "Oh, you know what One Piece is? Yeah, we think that you're doing what Luffy would do." Like, I guess that's a character from the manga.
That is the character.
Yeah. So he's
Wait, who said that? What?
Hassan said that. Hassan said to a Houthi pirate that he asked him if he knows what One Piece is, and the Houthi pirate knows what One Piece is, and Hassan told the translator to tell the pirate, tell him that we think he's doing what Luffy would do. A pirate.
For those that don't know, Luffy is a fun-loving, goofy character. For those that are familiar, similar to Goku or Naruto, for instance, in anime.
That's not helping me understand
Okay,
what the hell's going on right now.
Here.
Let's. What's a good American equivalent? He is a doofy, fun-loving adventurer who's trying to find the great treasure left behind by the Pirate King or whatever. He ate the gum fruit and now he can stretch like Reed Richards or whatever. I don't know how the Houthi pirates who are blowing up vessels and killing people or anything like that.
What is a
Now-
One
now-
Piece?
One Piece is the treasure.
Okay.
So I'm not a big One Piece fan. I actually rather don't like it. So I don't know as much as the average person. But what I can tell you is typically anime characters in these prominent shows, presumably One Piece, but I can speak directly for like Naruto and Goku and Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone's fantastic, by the way. Great Magic School Bus show for your kids. The heroes always convert the enemies to join their team by showing them the error of their ways. So really great story writing in Naruto, for instance. It's a graphic novel. Man, some really brutal writing. I won't get into it now because it's just a bit too esoteric, but it's really good writing where the main characters are always like, here's why you are wrong for doing what you did, and then confronting the villains who eventually change because of it. I'd love to see the Houthi pirates be convinced that what they're doing is wrong.
I mean, I don't know, but I like when bad things happen for Hassan, like getting booted. Yeah, I like the H3H3 content nuke, which I just tweeted. If you guys are interested in seeing this, it's an hour and 45 minutes long. Ethan Klein is just disassembles Hassan. He points out that he's a literal communist, that he endorses violence. He does it frequently. He points out that Twitch glazes Hassan all the time. They love him. Frogan, which is one of Hassan's moderators, she endorses all the violence too. He's anti-Semitic. He's just the absolute worst.
It is.
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
I mean, the thing is, it's a trend now. Like you have Bill Burr doing it with lionizing Luigi Mangione, saying, like effectively calling people to do terrible things for ideological reasons. You got Hasan Piker doing. There was another guy, I don't know who it was, but saying, like someone's got to do it to Elon. Like they know what they're doing, and it's a strategy.
Sam Uri said, if you Google search Raphael Warnock parlor threat, this guy basically did the same thing as Hasan and got 3 years in jail. Check this out. So it's not jail, it's prison. And I Google searched it.
Yeah,
New York man
jail's
sentenced
bad,
to
prison's worse.
Yeah, nearly 3 years in prison for threatening Ralph Warnock. His quote was, "Dead men can't pass laws." That's crazy.
Exponentially more nuanced than what Hasan Piker said.
Yep.
Wow. He did say other stuff during January 6th that I understand too, but in reference to threatening Warnock, it was that was the quote, which is.
He certainly picked a bad
Don't say these
administration
things,
to
guys.
test these laws with, because now it's you don't have a friendly Biden, Kamala Harris administration.
This is why I make the argument that we live in a leftist milieu that we are so inundated with leftism that we don't even realize it. That's why you can do something just center right, and people will call you a Nazi. People will say, "Oh, you're a far right extremist," because you're like, "Oh, maybe we should decrease the amount of money we pay in taxes." That's an extreme far right extremist because we are so inundated with leftism, and you see it when it comes to the way that courts behave. People like Luigi Mangione go out and they commit actual murder, and then there are people that just line
You know, I saw that conversation Hasan Piker had with some Houthi pirate. And if anybody's questioning whether or not he's a terrorist sympathizer, he's not. He's a full-blown terrorist supporter. As a matter of fact, One Piece, the show, has been on my list to check out because so many people seem to like it. But after hearing Hassan's conversation with that terrorist, I can't even bring myself to check it out. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing out, I guess. And if anybody watching this wants a deep dive on Hasan Piker and how dishonest and manipulative he is, the fact that he's a full-blown communist, if you really want to take a look at all that stuff, I'm not a fan, but that H3H3 Ethan Klein guy did like 2 hours plus. I guess they call it a content dump, just basically showing Hassan contradicting himself, talking about things that he doesn't know anything about, making wild claims based on nothing. He's found some magic formula, though, I guess, to be a successful left-wing commentator because he is super popular. And like I said, he seems like Teflon. It seems he can say the most outrageous things in the world that are objectively dangerous and no one cares, or at least Twitch doesn't care and the authorities don't seem to care. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Looking to praise the guy.
Yeah. So he got really mad at me, and I was kind of surprised he did because Dexerto tweeted, Hasanabi has been banned on Twitch. I said, it's a suspension. They call it banned, but he'll be back on shortly. It's likely to do with his calling on people to kill a sitting U.S. senator. He didn't even know Rick Scott was a senator. WTF? So in the clip of Hasan, he says, if you really cared about, Medicaid fraud or whatever, then he tells people, go do this thing. And, he said, if you care about this, you will do this thing. And, which I will not repeat. He then says, you wouldn't then put him into, what is his office? And then he Googles it. And I'm like, dude, he didn't even know that Rick Scott was a senator. He's the senator from Florida that he left the governorship. Ron DeSantis took over. Like, bro, how are you going to make an argument that he shouldn't be in a position? You didn't even know what position it was. Okay. I didn't even say that, but dude got so mad. So he tweeted in response to me, Tim Pool loves that Rick Scott was caught overseeing the largest Medicare and Medicaid fraud in U.S. history and will defend the wealthy robbing you blind, just as he'll defend Mike Johnson gutting Medicaid with lies. He's not independent. He's a bald partisan hack. Yo, Hasan, you crying. Whoa, look at that emotional reaction. I didn't say nothing to you, buddy.
He's a political streamer and he doesn't know that Rick Scott's a senator. That's pretty embarrassing, but that's exactly what I was just talking about. He talks about things of which he knows nothing about. Then, when Tim makes a joke that he should probably know that Rick Scott's a senator, he attacks Tim, claiming he supports Rick Scott, Mike Johnson, and everything they do, when all he said was he probably should know that he's a senator. Also, in case you didn't know, this guy's Cenk Uygur's nephew, so that should tell you all you needed to know. And he's a lot like Cenk in one way for sure, in the sense that you can tell when he's losing an argument because he goes into attack mode frequently and screams and yells like a baby. But we want to hear from you. What do you all think about what Hasan Piker said, what the consequences should be? Do you believe that there will be any consequences? And what do you think about Tim and his crew's comments on the matter? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.